Hi guys, welcome to this video on Introduction to Equations of Lines. So we're going to look at these two forms today. We've got y-intercept form, which we're quite familiar with. That's where we have y equals mx plus c. M is the slope and c is the y-intercept. That is where it crosses the y-axis. So an example might be if you have the equation y equals 2x plus 3, the slope is 2 and the y-intercept is 3. If we have a think about general form, we have it written as ax plus by is c. A is generally, it must be expressed as a positive constant if it's possible to do so. And it's useful for determining the x-intercept and y-intercept, and we're going to become competent with both of these forms. An example of general form might be 2x plus 3y equals c. So let's have a look at the examples. So I've got, consider the following linear equations. Our first step is going to be to state if it's written in general form or y-intercept form. We're going to convert it to the opposite form, and then we're going to state the y-intercept and slope of the line. So let's consider example A here. Now this is in y-intercept form because it's written as y equals mx plus c. So we get, to answer the first part, it is y-intercept form. Okay, the second part says convert it to the opposite form. So that means we've got to convert it to general form. So that means what we want to do is we want to have it written as ax plus by or something like that being equal to c. So perhaps the clearest way to do that, what we've got is we've got y equals 3x take 5. And we want to get this number 5 by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So I'm going to put minus 3x here and minus 3x here. Now let's rewrite what we've got. We're going to have minus 3x plus y equals, now over here you've got 3x, take away 3x. So they're cancelling, they're getting rid of one another. And we've got minus 5. Now one of the rules is we said we need to try, if we can, express the value of a, so that's the coefficient of x, as a positive number. And so what we can do is we can multiply both sides by minus 1. So we're going to multiply this side by minus 1 and the left side by minus 1 as well. So minus 1 times minus 3 becomes positive 3x. Minus 1 times y becomes minus y. And minus 5 times minus 1 becomes positive 5. So that's the best way to rearrange it. Now, all I've done here is, I wanted that expressed as a positive, and so I've just made the other two. I've made the other two negative. Okay, that's one way to think about it. But mathematically, what we're doing, we're multiplying both sides of the equation by 1, or dividing them both by minus 1. Sorry. So then the third part said state the y-intercept and the slope. So the slope is the coefficient of x, and we can see that that is 3. And the y-intercept, we use c to denote y-intercept, very intuitive, is the value of minus 5. Okay, that's this part hanging out here. So within the equation y equals 3x take 5, it's expressed in y-intercept form. We've converted it here to general form. That's the way of expressing it in general form. The slope is 3 and the y-intercept is minus 5. So we've satisfied all those things that it's asked us to do there. Let's have a look at example B. We've got 2x plus 3y equals 12. So this is already expressed in general form. That is ax plus by equals c. So this is general form. Now, our very next part is going to be to rearrange it to get it into y-intercept form. That means we want to get y by itself. So this is our default equation, 2x plus 3y equals 12. And we're trying to get y by itself. So we're going to start by subtracting 2x from both sides. And over here, it's going to cancel. 2x take 2x, that's going to cancel. And so we'll have 3y equals, now we could write it as 12 take 2x, or we can write it as minus 2x plus 12. Either of those is fine. Next, we're still looking to get y by itself. Here we've got 3y, which means we need to divide both sides by 3. Okay, so then you've got 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. That's going to cancel for us. And we're left with y equals minus 2x on 3 plus 12 on 3. Now here you can leave it like this. That's okay. But we can also split the denominator. So we've got minus 2 on 3x plus, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now just there, minus 2x on 3 and minus 2 on 3x, they mean exactly the same thing. Okay, when you have a fraction here and you're multiplying it by something, that thing can just go straight to the top. All right, so here, these mean exactly the same thing. This is just perhaps a clearer way for us to see what's the y-intercept, what's the slope. So let's finish then. Our slope is the coefficient of x. That's going to be minus 2/3. And our y-intercept is positive 4. Okay, very last one, example C here. And I don't really think I really need to do much more rearranging. Actually, I think I will with this one. Okay, it is expressed in y-intercept form. All right, it's y equals mx plus c, but it's a bit unclear. So let's answer the y-intercept first and the slope. Now the y-intercept is always the number hanging out by itself. Okay, and so that's going to be the 3. It's written in a different order this time. Excuse me, that's a 5. Our y-intercept is 3. It's written in a different order, but that's fine. The order is not what matters. We're not looking at the order of things. We're looking at 1 is a number and 1 is a multiple of x. Now here we've got minus x on 2, and I was just explaining down here that minus x on 2 we could write as minus a half times x, and now we can really clearly see what the slope is. Okay, the slope is the coefficient of x, that is minus half. All right, so when it's like this, you might be a bit unsure about what it's talking about, but I told you just before, if we have a fraction and we're multiplying it by that thing can just go straight to the top of our fraction. And so here, once we expand that out a bit, we can see slope, the coefficient of x, that is negative half. So we've got the y-intercept, we've got the slope, minus half. We stated that it's expressed in y-intercept form. Let's convert it to general form. So this is what we're starting with. We've got y equals 3 take x on 2. And let's start by adding x on 2 to both sides. Okay, because what that's going to do over here, that's going to cancel. We've seen we've got negative x on 2 plus x on 2, it cancels. And so on the left side, what we've got is we've got x on 2 plus y equals 3. Now what we can do is, we said we will need to express a as a positive whole number if it's possible to do so, and it is. That means we want to get rid of the denominator here, dividing by 2. And so all we're going to do is multiply both sides by 2. All right. So if I multiply the right-hand side by 2 here, we're going to have 2 times x on 2. That just becomes x. 2 times y is plus 2y. And 3 times 2 is 6. So again, we've expressed it in general form, and we were able to state the slope and y-intercept of it. So this exercise here is 11 E.1. This is just getting you used to general form and y-intercept form, and it's getting you used to how to rearrange those those equations of lines, which people have found tricky in the past. So this will probably be the hardest thing we've done so far. Good luck with it, and sing out if you've got any questions.